Morning, welcome back to Love 500, welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to day 4 of Project Christian, the sequel. Today is day 4, today we want to try and get everything done on this car. See if we can get it finished for the weekend so the girl can come and collect it and be on her merry way. Let's do it, let's get straight into it, let's see what we've got to do. Right, I've shown you this method before, my boiling water pour and pull. So I've just got the pinstripe off. It hasn't left much in the way of glue on it either really. So I've got the old kettle there, and you literally get an edge. I should have shown you, shouldn't I? I have shown you before, there are other videos out there of me doing this. The 300 pounder I think was the one that I did it the most on, if you want to have a search for that. In fact, I'll put the link to that video above if you want to have a look. So yeah, you just basically pour the kettle, and as you pour the kettle here, you pull it behind, and you just gradually pour and pull, and it comes off. Usually actually leaves more paint than that behind, more glue than that behind, but it hasn't. But I've started to mask off. I was going to take that rubber off at the top, but it's really difficult to get off, and I have in the past when I've scrapped doors, I have actually ripped that rubber. So I'm not going to take it off. I've decided I'm not going to bother painting this bit, waste the paint. It's all going to be covered up by the trim. Obviously all the bits that are on show around the other side I will paint, but I'm not going to bother with that bit. So I've only just masked that a little bit just while I'm rubbing it down, just so I don't scratch it. I can't get the handle off because the window's wound down, so I'm going to have to paint around the handle, and then once the door's hung I can then do the change the handle, or change the lock really. Obviously I've got to get the handle out to be able to change the lock. Okay, so I'm going to start rubbing down now, and yeah, hopefully we can get this up primed within the next sort of half an hour to an hour, and then we'll be great guns going from there, hopefully. Right, let's do it. I'll come back once I've got this rubbed down. I have my first run in paint. I've been leaving it as long as possible before I just rub it back a little bit. Where's it gone? Actually, you can not see it very much now. Little run there. So I'm just going to knock that back a little bit and then put some more paint over it there. And then we'll get this in, get some clear coat on this then. Right, I'm ready for clear coat now on here. Rub that down, give it another bit of a coat on there. I'm going to let it go off a little bit longer. And let me just show you the door. Right, so all rubbed down. As you can see, the top part, which was the black part, is in primer. It's a nuisance. I've got to leave the handle on, and I was having trouble with the tape sticking to it, so I've used duct tape instead. I've got to finish taping it up for when I do the rest, but of course it's quite awkward getting in there as well with the handle on, but there's nothing I can do about it. If there's anything that's a bit amiss, then I'll have to go over it once the door's on, but hopefully I can get the can up there at an angle and get a decent coat on it. So we're getting there. So I'm just going to let that go off for 5 or 10 minutes, get the heat gun on it, help it along, and then we'll start laying down some top coat. I'm just boiling the kettle so I can put the can of paint just to warm it up, and we are actually in sun at the moment, but of course it is beginning of February, so it's supposed to be about 12 degrees today actually, but obviously still not ideal weather. A little bit breezy still, although I think it's dropped a little bit, so hopefully it'll stay like that, and we don't get any specks of rain like we did yesterday. All the birds are having fun on my TV aerial. Yeah, so we're getting there. We're getting there. I think we're on course to get this done today. It shouldn't be too much of an issue, I don't think, providing the paint lays on all right and it don't look like a dog's dinner. Let's hope not, eh? Right, let's get some. I'm going to get some clear coat warmed up first, and then get that back quarter clear coated, and then we'll come back to this. Right, this has had 3 cans of clear now. 3 coats of clear. It looks really good. and I've used that fade out thinner, and it's really done the job. I think I might have missed a little bit there, but we'll polish that. Won't worry too much about that. Yeah, I'm well pleased with this. Well pleased with it. I mean, as I say, you know, the actual repair itself could be better. There are places where you can see it, but she's going to be over the moon with this, I think. It looks really good. Lovely and shiny. It's all done on the inside of that door as well, just there, down there. And we repaired this. Still marks on it. I rubbed it back as far as I could get it. But, and this is, the chrome bit here is a little bit scratched, but nothing I can do about that. See, it is scratched, that, but yeah, it looks really good. So I blended it in down here. I've done all of that bit. I should have done that top bit, but I didn't. I blended it. I don't know why I didn't do it, really. I think I was a bit hesitant because I didn't know it was going to come out, but because it's come out so well, I wish I'd done it. But it blends in quite well once it's polished. New paint and old paint, it'll be fine. But what I should have done is really gone all the way across there and then blended it here. I mean, in theory, I could have even gone up here, because obviously I painted this bit, which is blended, which you can't see the join. You can feel it because the old paint's rough. But yeah, in hindsight, I should have done that. But that's more time, more paint, more clear coat. And as you know, I'm trying to keep costs down. But you know, from a point of view of the learning point of view, as I said, I've learned so much doing this, and it has made me confident to attack these types of damage myself now. It really has. And I can take more time to get it perfect. This isn't perfect. I reckon with more work I could have made it perfect. But it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Let me come in and show you what we've done on the door. We have now done 2 coats on the door. One sort of, you know, light coat, and then I've done a heavier coat. I've got one completely full can of paint left, so I've got more than enough to do one more coat. And then we'll hit it with a clear after that. It's coming up really well. No marks, no runs, no drips. Even as far as I can see. I've done down the edges as well, as much as I can. Obviously, I need to do the other side for the bits that are on show. But ideally, of course, I would have hung this from something. But apart from a ladder, which wouldn't be very particularly sturdy, I've got nothing to hang it from. But if I'm going to make a habit of doing this, I'll get some form of, you know, there's plenty of those painters' trestles, or whatever you call, not trestles, whatever you call them, the things that you hang parts off of to paint, which body shops use. I'll get myself a cheap one of those, because obviously it would have been better to hang it up properly. But it's looking really good. I'm really pleased with it. Really pleased with it. Can't wait to get a clear coat on it now. But as I say, we'll do one more coat, and then we'll hit it with three coats of clear, and then we'll leave that a good couple of hours to go off, and then we'll come back and yeah, get it done, get it on even. Right, we are already getting there now. I've got done, is it 1 or 2? Well, yeah, 1. I've just done the first coat of clear on the door. I've just got to go in now because I'm just about to have a bid. I've got about 7 or 8 lots to go. I'm having a bid on this 2016 Sport. Yeah, facelift Sport for my sister-in-law that she wants. So it's currently at 2,750. It's up in a few minutes. It is on minimum bid, not reserve. It's on a minimum bid, so we probably won't get it anyway. But I'm hoping I'm going to bid up to 4 grand. So let's see what happens. Probably even if I got it for 4 grand, it wouldn't be enough for the greedy insurance company, but you never know. So I'm going to go and film that now. So yeah, we'll be back out here afterwards to carry on with the clear coat. The back, let me just turn you around quickly. I was just about to put the wheel on, so I've put the wheel arch liner back in. I must remember I've got to do those bolts up before I put the other wheel liner in. I've buttoned up the bumper. The only thing I've got to do on this bumper is I'm going to put a bit of bonding in here, because that just sort of needs pulling there. The tab on there is broken off and it just needs pulling out just a smidge. So I thought if I can get some bonding and just put it underneath to just sit there, it'll literally just hold it into position. Again, you know, if this was my car and I was doing it to sell, then I would spend more time on it and yeah, get it right. But we just got to get it done. and not without spending any more money. Need to polish this up. Yeah, right, anyway, let's go indoors and have a bid on this car. Did I show you the door? Let's show you the door first. I'm all over the place this week. Got so much work to do. There you go. Not very glossy at the moment, but it's only had 2 coats, so I've got to do a nice heavy coat next, and then that'll probably be it then. So yeah, we'll hopefully this auction won't take too long and we can come back out, because it was about 5 minutes ago, so I don't want to leave it too long before I put the final coat on. It's looking good. Right, this is the car. So as you can see, it's 2017 Black Sport. So it's a facelift one. So it needs a wing, it needs a bumper, something going on with the suspension. It's probably the bottom arm, possibly a leg. I think that should, as far as we can see. Apart from there's one other thing that you can't really tell from the picture. There's no other damage. Just get HD pictures that we can see on there. It is always difficult to tell on a black car, but the only thing that I think might be something, in fact we'll go and focus, which it won't, as you can see there, that white bit there, I'm not sure whether that's a rip in the seat or a split in the seat, so it might need a new seat. Bearing in mind I have got one of these seats, but of course the fabric bit is damaged, so there is a possibility you could swap, get the bolster from the good seat and sew it onto that one, or someone could, not me. But yeah, I mean, it might not be that, it might be something on the seat, but that's what it looks like. Yeah, that's it really. 30 something thousand miles, 39,000 is it? So there it is briefly. Bonnet is fine, headlight probably fine, probably going to have a broken tab there, but that's not an issue. DRL might need replacing, possibly. It's not even there unless that's it there, I'm not sure if it is or not. Wheel possibly might need replacing, but it looks as if it might be a little bit damaged just there, but again, can't really tell. But yeah, let's go to the auction. It's up any second. It's number 41. Oh God, we're on it. Oh my God, I only gone and missed it. No, I haven't. Oh, people are bidding. I thought I'd missed it. 3,050. Let's have a bid. No, people are still bidding. I haven't bid yet. It's going to get too expensive, isn't it? Yeah, lots of people bidding. Oh, it's on a pure sale now. That means it's going to go for what it goes for. Let's have a bid. New bidder. That's me. 3,500. It's me. Winning at 3,550. 3,650. It's going to go a bonus time. Ugh. Hate it when people bid on bonus time. 3,750. Bonus time. Wow, am I going to get it for 3,750? Oh, come off it. Bloody bonus time. Don't you dare bid anyone else. Come on, this has got to be it. 1. Yes. Oh yes. Right. I've got the door all undone, all the bolts undone, or the two nuts undone. I've taken off the bolt on the check strap, and I've disconnected the wire in the footwell, and it's all ready to lift off. Hopefully smoothly. They usually do. Yeah, there you go. No problem at all. Right, now what I've got to do is get the glass out, because I've got to get the door handle off. So I'm not sure, I'm not convinced that lock's going to be any good. And what I will do is, when I get it out, I'll twist it around, and if it isn't any good, then I'm going to leave it, and I'll leave the other one in. Because there's no point going to the hassle of taking the lock out on the good door, on the new door. If the lock itself is okay, they'll have to get a locksmith at some point if they decide to, which they don't necessarily need to. Of course, if their remote goes, They won't be able to get into the car, of course. That's the only problem. But that'll be their decision. But we'll have a look at the lock when I get it out and see if it's savable. And what I'll do is I'll install it in another handle that I've got and see if it's any good or not. As I say, if it's not, then we won't bother. Right, I'm just going to see if we can get this glass out. Actually, no, we'll take the handle out first, and then we'll struggle to get the glass. So basically, the glass, I'm going to have to remove the window winder and drop that out of the way to get the glass out, because obviously the glass is up in the air, and it wouldn't. I did try to put it down, and for some reason it wouldn't go down. I don't really know why, because I didn't think the door was particularly. I didn't want to force it. I suppose the door is in, isn't it? There, I probably could have bent it actually, but it wouldn't go down, so I didn't want to force it just in case it went pop. Anyway, be back shortly. Right, I haven't got a mirror, so what I've had to do is take the mirror off of the silver car on the drive. Sorry, excuse me. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, so we haven't got a mirror, so I've had to take one off of the silver car on the drive. What I'll do is I'll order one online, and then I'll say to them that I'll pop over and change it as soon as it comes. And I've done that wheel as well, which looks much better now. It's still scratched, you know. I've rubbed it down very slightly, only a little bit, given it a clean off, and then just sprayed the face. It just takes the eye away from it. You don't notice it straight away like it was before. So yeah, I've got this. Everything works. I need to give it a clean. I'll put the mirror on tomorrow, as I say, and then I'll swap it. The only thing I've got left to do is to put the door card on. I'm just going to give it a clean. The bit is missing on this door, so I'm going to cut a piece out that's on there and put it on here. Tape it into position, because it should be there. Yeah, and that'll be. Oh, I forgot to push that back in. Look, there we go. There's little bits. I'm going to check her oil and water as well before I go any further. That's not blending in, strangely. Needs a clean, but oh, that reminds me. They said that was sticking, so I need to oil that. Yeah, part of the Love 500 service. So it's very dusty, so I'm just going to reverse it back a little bit. Just get just a bucket of water. I'm not going to go mad. Just a bucket of water. Yeah, that's all I'm going to do. And then black the tyres up for them, and then come out tomorrow, and we probably might need to give it another wash actually, because we're going to polish, so we're going to get dust from the polish, you know, from the cutting compound. So but I want to get it clean now as well, and then if we have to give it a final wipe over tomorrow, we will. Right, door card time, and then I think we're all going to wrap up for today. I'm going to hoover it out as well. Yeah, I'm going to wrap it all up for today, and then we'll come back tomorrow. Will be the final bit. Morning, welcome back. So today is day 5, and the car is, well, nigh on finished. I thought I'd film it after rather than before, so I've polished it all up. I've used the old heavy cutting compound. I've still got to put the mirror on. I've just stuck this on with Tiger Seal. It's a bit iffy around the edge there. That's where I cut the old one off, and there is still, as I got as much of the glue off as I could, but so I'm gonna, once it's all gone off, I've got just a couple of bits and pieces holding it into position, bits of tape and what have you. Once that's all gone off, I will just stick some paint in there to help sort of fill those holes, and then that'll be fine. If I was going to have the car any longer, I would put some filler in it maybe, or something, I don't know, to fill it, but some of them might be a little big for. I think it's black. It looks a bit odd. It looks a bit black because it's the Tiger Seal, which I had to make a hole in the tube because I couldn't get it out. So I'll put some tin foil around that just so I can reuse it again before it goes off. So it's stuck quite well. It's in the right position. I'm going to leave that for about an hour before I move it. Step over. So yeah, that's all polished up. I polished the wing up as well. You can still see the difference between the wing and the door. In hindsight, I should have just got a white wing, or the cheapest wing I could find, or even that wing that I swapped for it. Remember, I swapped the wing for the bonnet and the wing. I could have used that one and just painted it, but I didn't, so I didn't, never mind. You can see the difference. So it looks worse through the camera than it is in real life, and I think, you know what, to the casual viewer they probably won't even notice it, but what, a million times better than it was. So all we're left to do now is just to yeah, do those little bits of painting, put the mirror on. I've given it a wipe over, gave it a wash yesterday, just got black tyres up and we're done, and I can give them a call, tell them it's ready. I've just been painting that this morning. I've just clear coated this, done 1 can of clear coat on it. It's not a brilliant mirror cap, it's the one that was on my other silver car, so it was silver. I've rubbed it down and painted it in the grey. So it's better than me then having to go and get another one. So I've got to get another one for that car, but it was better than me having to mess around going over to their house and changing it over. I thought I might as well give them the finished product. So yeah, it's good. So yeah, we'll come back once it's all finished, and then we'll wrap up, and that'll be the end of this video, end of this series, I should say. Right, all done. I've just blacked the tyres up. It's all finished. The rubbing strip's on. It's not that neat, unfortunately, because it was a little bit chewed up. But what I've done is where there was any gaps, I've filled that with dolphin glaze, just a tiny little bead of filler. And then I've just put some paint over it, so it's not particularly smart, but it serves a purpose and it gets the thing on. So yeah, all done. What an absolute transformation. And I know, and I've said it many times during this series, that it's not perfect, but I'm quite proud of what I've done here, I have to say. It's a shame that wing doesn't blend in a little bit more, but again, you know, I've learned if I'm going to paint the whole of the car, let's paint the whole side. If I'm going to paint lots of it, let's paint the whole side and blend it in. But that door and that rear quarter, I mean, that door, now that door is polished up, you almost wouldn't know that it's not a factory finished. It's just, it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Well chuffed with it, absolutely well chuffed with it, and I'm sure she will be as well. The bill has come to £900 and 98 pence, including my £300 labour, because I had to put a new headlight in, I had to put a new DRL in, which has got a bit of moisture in it at the moment, but that will dissipate. Had to take the mirror off of my car and then paint that, so it's got a good working mirror. Door handle was free. Yeah, good job, absolutely. First class, well, second class, not quite first class, but you know what I mean, it's good. I'm pleased with it, you can tell, I think. Right, I'll just message the lady, tell her it's ready to pick up when she wants to pick it up, and that'll be it. We can get this one out of the way and get the next one in. Pleased with it, it's been hard work, four days and a couple of hours this morning, 4 days of hard work, but it's, yeah, it's been worth it, and she will be over the moon, I'm sure. Yeah, so that's it. Project Christian, the sequel, is complete. Yeah, what do you think about it? Have I done myself? No, well, don't worry about me done myself. It's been a long hard slog over this 4 days. 3 days of that were time I took off work, but it's done now, and she will be pleased with it, I'm sure. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, as always. If you're not a subscriber, hit the button, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you next week for, don't know what we're going to have next week, but there'll be something interesting coming for you. We've got a couple of things in the pipeline, or a couple of things, one on the back boiler, which you know about, the silver one. Silver one like this, but silver, and the other one which I've just bought for my sister-in-law, which is coming, it would have already come by the time you see this video, because you're not seeing this till next Sunday. You'll be seeing part 2 tomorrow, and then you'll be seeing this one the following Sunday. So you've got one to come in the middle, which will be the walk around, and then we've got more stuff coming the following week, so they're stacking up nicely. So as always, as I say, thanks for watching, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you on the next one.